everybody. My name is Brandon Jones. This is Kyle Bossman.
Hi, everybody.
This is Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
And we all like trailers. And we're all going to talk about trailers for a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to kick off part 2 of Let's All Go to the Trailers by watching Friendship Club. Do we think this is like an ironic title? Could this be like a horror game? Just you're not anticipating it? Like, it's like a play on it? Or is this clearly like some mobile friend thing?
It's a free-to-play...
You're in high school, probably? You're in a school, probably.
Okay, cool. I like
it's like
that,
Persona without the monsters.
We're thinking Breakfast Club now.
We're gonna... No, because they're too attitude-y. We're not gonna have attitudes in this game.
Yeah, it's
only
like,
smiles.
It's like, like dating games, like dating apps and stuff like that, like where you're dating fake characters and stuff like that. It's like that, but you're friends, Friendship Club.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
Oh, so it is ironic.
Yeah.
Oh, I have heard about this. Oh, I should have known.
It's like a multiplayer bullet hell? What?
Yeah, the bullets don't stop.
Ooh, also very short. That's probably our shortest trailer yet.
That is our shortest Let's Watch of all time.
So we gotta be fast. We'll be fast about this.
I mean,
well, the game is fast. The trailer's fast.
It's just long enough for you to figure out what's happening.
Well, I mean, it's it's 4-player, versus.
What's up with the rugs? There's something up with the rugs.
I think that's character select, or something maybe. I
No,
don't know.
no.
Maybe
There's
that's your
like
weapon
rugs
or
on the
something?
floor that match each color.
So I guess I would show actually longer shots of your game because it is so frantic.
Yeah.
Maybe one entire play session I think would work too. Because like the whole scare of bullets lasting forever is that when it gets down to just 2 people and you still have those bullets left of the first 2 people that were shooting stuff, and you're still trying to dodge the bullets and survive.
And also, I think it's overly short. I think you're selling yourself short with this trailer.
Yeah, for sure. Because you could totally get some tension out of this, just to get a one really great match. And what else is there to it? Is there any other types of modes or weapons or what? Yeah, what do you got going on here? Actually, it looked like there was a quick menu shot of something.
They answered that question in a fraction of a second, I guess.
Yeah, maybe the rugs represent like who's in the game.
I think they might be your spawn points.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it also looked like the finger might have been like a guy that had gotten shot and he was trying to crush somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, how long? I mean, you don't want to drag it out. I mean, if you have an indie game with a really simple concept,
right?
You don't want to go on for too long. But yeah, it is short. But it might be intended for that because I have a feeling I've seen a trailer for this game before. I think I've seen something because I knew the trick and I should have known the title. That was my bad. It's just kind of there. It's a little short thing. That's a 7.
That's just kind of there. Little short thing. Yeah, I'll give it Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. I really wish you showed the shots for longer, but hey, it's hard to be mad at a short trailer. Also, I think the choice of VO and music fits, and so I think that was not bad.
I was just asking that, actually. I was just about to ask that, what you thought of the VO. I'm a silly guy. Play this fun little game.
Yeah,
don't think anything more of it. That's all it is. Moving on.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I go with the 6.5 on this. I mean, it's fine. It gets the point across, but it's definitely way too short.
I think we should talk about this trailer for like 20 minutes. Or not. Let's move on.
Sorry, I've got to go. Stay safe, Barbara. You still know how to make an entrance.
So there were 3 other trailers of note for 3 super awesome games. One, Batman Arkham Knight, Officer Down gameplay. I can't remember if there were cuts in there. You just watched it, Kyle. Were there any cuts, or was it one long continuous?
It didn't feel like there were
They did
cuts.
some cuts near the beginning where you're getting story from Commissioner Gordon, but after that, it seems like raw gameplay, which is crazy.
I gotta say, this has gotta be the most convincing Batman thing I've seen yet, personally. Like, I was really pumped about this from seeing it. Like, they did a really good job just, like, playing more smoothly than any person ever would, for one.
Yeah, pro. Definitely pro.
You're gliding around just, like, perfectly going in and out, and it's like, it looks like it's entirely scripted.
But also starts with that thing where it says captured, this is raw gameplay captured, and I love that. I love for any game trailer to do that.
I think we have rightfully been giving a lot of credit to trailers lately that just give you a nice chunk. I mean, Valkyrie had a really great, the trailer before that was just one continuous thing of gameplay.
But there is a full story arc to this too. I mean,
Exactly,
it's partly the mission design that they've structured that mission to play out that way. But But yeah, like just everything through it, and the music cues along the way, and it's really well done, and you see a lot of the potential of where else you could be going.
People really like the cheeky button press commands where it says, I'm going to even the odds. And it's like,
L1.
even the odds. Press.
I love it. I gave it a little nod and just
But clearly, this is the first time you get in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not, call Batmobile.
Even the odds.
It seems like very early on in the story. This might be the first time you bump into Gordon. Maybe not the first time you talk to him, but maybe the first time
the
you see him in
cops are
person.
still out on the streets for a while. I mean, I think that's significant.
And so I think that was smart. It doesn't spoil a lot. It's pretty generic. It's like, how many times have we heard Gordon say, like, Batman does that every time? I thought that was like a little cliche, but
Also, honestly, really good trailer for the week where you announce a delay.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good time for this trailer to come out.
Because that was one of my big questions. It's like, okay, Batmobile's cool, but like, how does that work? Like, are you gonna? Because it's like a first-person shooter where they have to have the point where you get kidnapped and thrown in prison, and we take all your weapons away, and you got to stealth the way out. It's like they just can't help but do that. And it's like, obviously, there's going to be points in this game where we don't have access to the Batmobile. And so I think the big question people have, before finally, I'll pre-order it, I'll get my awesome PS4, let's do it. How exactly does this Batmobile work? And I still have some questions, but we definitely got, he's out of it, he's in it, he's out of it, he's in it. And they definitely showed that off. And I don't have to tell you, I'm excited for this game. And this trailer didn't make me any more excited for the game because I was already there. Another game I'm super excited for, and I need to play episode 2. I am not caught up at all. We got the launch trailer for Game of Thrones. Interesting that I felt bad because I'm like, I watch all these trailers, and it's like, is this going to spoil something that, oh man, now seeing the trailer for episode 3, it's going to spoil all the stuff in episode 2. And there was one thing that was spoiled, but it did, personally, I don't really, I don't mind spoilers, but I thought they also did a good, it was good at not necessarily like divulging everything. There still were lots of questions. Ends with the big dragon.
Always end with the dragon.
That he just bumps in there.
Yeah,
but
we had 2 trailers in with a dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen, I haven't done episode 2, but I don't think there's any dragons in that. So thankfully, they've gone through 2 episodes of Game of Thrones without showing dragons. So they held off until now.
Yeah, I don't know how good that trailer was because I was too distracted by the animation.
You don't dig it?
Ooh.
It's when you're showing me a representation of something I've already seen the real life version of, it's real hard.
And that was bizarre in the first in episode 1. This isn't talking about trailers, but because the first episode of Game of Thrones introduced us to a lot of characters we didn't know, and the first character we did was Marjorie, and they literally the door opens and it's like everyone else looked okay, but for some reason you look totally weird because I know you're supposed to be like a real person. And thankfully, I think almost with the exception, I think Jon Snow we see for a second, but a lot of the characters we see in this one are characters we're not familiar with in the show. So yeah, that is weird, but that's a personal thing. What are you gonna do? Certainly not something you should shy away from when you're doing the trailer. It's got to be dialogue driven. It's got to be.
That in a way, that it helps bring people in. Well, if it's done well enough, maybe it turns people away if it's not.
And a shorter narrative experience than a lot of things you're focusing on. It's kind of reminiscent of a DLC. It's just a small chapter. You only have so many lines of dialogue to use in the trailer. And so I always am fascinated by, Tales from the Borderlands or Walking Dead, just kind of what did you choose to pick and focus on. And finally, Mortal Kombat has had a lot of really great trailers, but a very interesting trailer that specifically focused on motion capture. And I thought it was fascinating because it's like a double-edged sword. On one end, they have all of this amazing technology that they're using. It's incredible that they can have all these characters in there, that they can run all these scenes with all of these actors, and at the end of the day, we can see the final product. And yet, at the end of the day, it kind of dropped it down for me a little bit in production values because it's no, they're not really in a helicopter. It's a bunch of guys in a room, It's did that pull the wind out of your sails a little bit?
Oh, I had a very similar feeling, but mostly because those actors are doing a great job, and you can tell they're not doing facial capture because it is not translating to the character models at all. So you're seeing these actors really perform and do actually interesting expressions even when they're not on camera. And then, you just see it transformed into these action figures that were are puppets. And so that part kind of lets me down. Clearly they're not Last of Us scale facial capture, but maybe don't show us this side of the production. We weren't curious.
There were some things that I thought were really funny. I don't know if you saw at the end, he had a baseball bat that he's using as the joystick for the helicopter.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter.
It's a prop, yeah.
Which I can accept. It's not like I see this and I'm like, no way, that's how they do it. You can imagine they just literally just need something for reference. But two things that I thought might have not been the best choice for this trailer. One, to have us see everything at all times. I think it'd be better if you kind of artfully transition between the elements. Maybe kind of like show us the beginning and show us the storyboards, and then show us the mocap, and then go into the actual cinematic. So by the end, we're completely, which they do, they actually go full screen on the game at the very end. And I think it was a bad scene to show because you inherently have these characters in danger because they're on this helicopter, and yet none of the actors are I mean, they're not in danger obviously because they're acting, but it's weird to see them in a vehicle and then compare that to them on a stage in completely inert, not moving around.
Oh, you'd rather them like walking around and like talking to each other. Yeah, I get
Just
what
see
you're
a
saying.
scene that's just a normal scene, like don't have a scene that ends in a cliffhanger because it's like, well, I'm not worried about Johnny Cage because I'm pretty sure he doesn't die in a helicopter crash, and I'm not worried about these actors because they're not in a helicopter, and it's just weird. It just kind of seems to want to play up tension, and it's just not there at all.
Yeah.
And for me, I couldn't help but just smirk at it because I noticed things like the baseball bat and just them like, oh, let's walk over to the beginning of the, or let's walk over to the cockpit, and it's like, let's just walk over to these chairs,
Yeah. Well, and the I think like again, Mortal Kombat has this goofy, campy dialogue, and it just feels even weirder when you see a real person saying these words. It's like,
well, not saying them though. I mean, the voice actors are not these actors, or are they? I don't know. Like, were they actually speaking in the footage? Because the audio we're hearing is from the final product, and yet we're seeing these people perform. Sometimes you get the actor, but like across the board, to literally have every single performance of every single character in your entire game be both the voice actor and the performer.
I'm gonna say it's not likely.
If you got something like
think-
Troy Baker, then like, yeah, get him to do the whole thing,
Right.
for Second Son or for Shadow of Mordor. But every single person, I don't know. That one guy in the corner that's like, I don't know. It's like, did that guy do the voice? This one actor is this one line. So I got the impression that they were lip syncing, that they were actually like.
They were very in sync though. They were nailing that.
Oh, because this is like the 50th time they've probably
Sure,
done
you're
it.
right. Yeah.
You just rehearse these things like crazy. I don't know. I'm actually curious. I'm curious to let us know what you guys think in the chat. If you guys dug it, or if you think somebody hopefully is like, hey, I was on the staff and here's how we did it. That would be lovely.
Oh man, would I love that?
Kyle, you just went nutso for that Dragon Age Inquisition trailer. You
I
really
give
like Pamela.
I give
Pamela's your
Pamela a
trailer of the
higher
week.
score. That's my trailer of the week. Yep. I guess there's no backing down now.
Oh god, I want to say Dragon Age, but I'd probably just go by Batman by default. I literally just like went down the list and I was like, oh wait, Batman's on this list.
Yeah, but it's a really good trailer. It's worth saying.
Yeah,
it was
no.
different and really effective.
I did need it. I actually did need that little surge. I wasn't upset with the delay. I can deal with that. I can wait 3 more weeks. I can't deal with reviewing that game during E3. Not sure how that's gonna work out. But that little surge there, I needed that. What do you think, Blood?
Batman's mine for sure. Like that actually, again, like that kind of sold me from like, okay, this is the same old thing. She was like, oh, I really want to play this game. This is gonna be great. So
if Pamela turns out to be terrible, I can make fun of you, Kyle?
Absolutely.
If the next trailer's god awful, I can be like, today the only trailer we're talking about is Pamela.
I think that
The
one
story trailer. This game could be amazing. I'm not saying anything. I just needed a little bit more there. But that is it. Those are the trailers. Those are our trailers of the week. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Sorry, I said thank you for Daniel.
You can say that. You say thank you for me. Are you?
Okay. Well, no, I stepped over him. I stepped over him. I don't mean to do that. Bloodworth, you can say your own thank you now.
thank you.
The other issue we had this week is this episode is late, so I apologize for not showing up on Monday, but showing up on Tuesday instead. But had some homework to take care of, and hopefully we'll be on time next week. See you then.